Hey everybody, I'm Chris Provost from Provost Park Pass. What the heck is going on between Disney and the state of California? We're going to do a complete breakdown. But before we get to that, let me just say this. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I'm going to tell you two reasons why you want to subscribe to this channel. Number one, if we hit 100,000 subscribers before New Year's Day, we call it 100K by New Year's Day, we're going to do a massively huge giveaway. We're going to give away 100 gifts. Disney t-shirts, Disney limited edition pins, shoes, Spirit jerseys, all kinds of 100 different gifts. Or we might do 10 huge gifts, like 10 trips to Disney. In order to be qualified for that, all you have to do is subscribe. So hit the subscribe button. And the second reason you want to subscribe to Provost Park Pass, if you want to know the breaking news that's happening in the world of Disney and you want to know it first, then subscribe to Provost Park Pass. Okay. Let's do a breakdown of what's going on in the state of California versus Disney, because I feel like there's a battle going on and there's so many things are happening, and particularly this last week, it's been really crazy. So I'm going to break it down and hopefully be able to make sense of this situation for everybody. The state of California, their governor is Gavin Newsom, and he issued this new color code for COVID in California. You see, it's this purple code. It's purple, red, orange, and yellow. Purple means it's the worst level. It's like purple is if they're getting, and the criteria is they're getting 7 people out of every 100,000 people are testing positive for COVID. That is purple. Now, just as a side note, I don't like purple being the worst because I'm a huge Prince fan and I love Prince, and Prince owns the color purple and he could do no wrong. So I don't see how purple can be bad. But anyways, in the state of California, purple is the worst. The next level down here is the red level. And the red level is if you have anywhere between 4 to 7 people being infected by COVID per 100,000 people, then you're in the red level. Then below that, you've got the orange level, and the orange level is between 1 and 3.9 people getting infected for every 100,000 people. And then the bottom level is yellow. Yellow is less than 1 person is getting infected by COVID for every 100,000 people that are getting tested. So this is the color code they have: purple, red, orange, and then yellow. The problem that people are having with this standard, besides the color purple, obviously, is that this doesn't really say when people can open up. It's like, when can certain businesses open up? When can like hair salons open up? When can restaurants open up? It just kind of gives you this tiers, but it doesn't really have any guidelines of when they can open up. Most noticeably missing from this list is theme parks. Nowhere is in the guidelines says when a theme park can open. Can they open when they're red, orange, yellow, purple? Don't know. It doesn't say anywhere. And that was what's caused a lot of frustration on the theme park side versus the state of California. And Disney in particular has been leading this charge. They're like, hey, please give us some guidelines so we know when we can open, so we can get this out and going. We can let people know when we're going to be opening. Give us the guidelines. They've been begging the governor for that. Now, what happened was, on Monday, Josh D'Amaro, who is the chairman of Disney Parks, he attempted to reach the combination with the state. And in quotes, he begged the legislatures to work out a solution, but there was no avail to the solution. The healthcare officials replied to his begging of letting them open, having these guidelines. The healthcare officials said that Orange County Disneyland theme park did not meet the necessary guidelines to remain fully functional. The Secretary of California Health and Human Services Agency, his name is Mark, I think it's pronounced Gahi, it's G-H-Gali, G-H-A-L-Y, Mark Gahali, I guess, said that they will soon offer guidelines for the parks, perhaps indicating things could possibly open up in the future. So Josh D'Amaro, he's this head honcho for Disney. He's like begging them, give us the guidelines. This is on Monday. He's like, give us the guidelines so we can open up our parks. The state says, no, you're not meeting criteria, but don't worry. We'll be coming up with some guidelines soon, but we don't know when. Then we know what happened after that. It was a horrible thing. And Disney then announced after this, is on Tuesday, and they announced, we're going to have to, we don't know when we're going to be opening up. We can't keep affording to keep this going. So they ended up doing a massive layoff. They lay off about 28,000 employees. That's so many employees. 67% of them were part-time employees. And my heart goes out to you cast members out there. Just know that we support you and we love you at Provost Park Pass. And I'm so sorry. I am so sorry that this happened. So that happened. Then around Thursday-ish or something like that. So that happened on Tuesday. Around Thursday, Bob Iger, he was, and let me back up. In April, Governor Newsom formed what he called this Economic Task Force Recovery Panel. And he had all these people come in and join this panel to come up with ways that the companies could go back and help stimulate the economy. And a lot of people were very excited about this because when they heard that Bob Iger, the former CEO of Disney, was invited to be on this task force, it was like, yay, because he's very, very pro-business. And we all know that he loves Disney. He's going to want Disney open as soon as possible. So people are kind of optimistic, going, yay, it's going to happen. Well, he was invited to be on this task force in April. In Thursday, of last week, after the layoffs, he quit. Bob Iger quit that task force, the governor's economic task force recovery force. He just left. He quit. There are some people saying that the tensions are obviously very high between Disney and the government right now. It's high tensions going on, and some sources were saying that he quit because he's like, this is pointless. We're not getting any work done. Disney's official statement was, we're thankful for the service that he did on the task force. But he ended up leaving the task force. After Bob Iger had left, and that became kind of public that he had left. And what happened was then, after that, let me read this here. The theme park reopening plans will be issued by the California Department of Public Health. And so on that Thursday, the state of California, the Department of Public Health says, hey, by the way, we now have guidelines for Disney and all the other theme parks, and we're going to be announcing this very soon, most likely probably going to be happening tomorrow, which would have been Friday. Then, at that point, you have to realize the state of California had not actually done any collaboration with the theme parks. Universal Studios, Knott's Berry Farm, SeaWorld, Legoland, Disney, Magic Mountain. They didn't have any input as to what these guidelines were going to be. None. The health department came up with their own guidelines. And apparently what had happened is that before they were going to issue these guidelines, they gave these guidelines to the theme park representatives. So they say, hey, these are going to be the new guidelines for the reopening your theme parks. We don't know what those guidelines are. There was a lot of speculation. We heard that it was going to be location-based. You had to live within a certain distance from Disneyland to go. We heard that they're going to have really reduced hours and these different things. We don't know. It's all speculation. We don't know. What we do know is this. Apparently, the guidelines were so bad that all the theme parks got together and said, do not issue these guidelines. Now, keep that in mind. For months now, since April, the theme parks, particularly Disney, is leading the charge here. It says, give us the guidelines so we know how to reopen. Then the state says, we've got the guidelines. They share them. Now, all of a sudden, the theme parks have all of them did a 180 and says, do not issue these guidelines. Let me read to you exactly what happened here. Aaron Grillo, who's the executive director for the California Attractions and Park Association, that's CAPA, we asked that the governor not finalize guidelines for amusement parks before engaging the industry in a more earnest manner. Listening to park operators' expertise and collaborating with the industry on a plan that would allow for the amusement parks to open responsibly while still keeping the health and safety of park employees and guests a top priority. So CAPA here, who represents all the theme parks, says, please don't issue these guidelines. Let us contribute Let us help with these guidelines. We have the expertise. The state of California didn't have anybody who really had any theme park experience come up with all these guidelines, and we don't know what they are, but they must have been pretty bad for all the theme parks to say, don't release these. Then, after that was late Thursday night when they issued that statement. They're like, okay, we're not, please don't do that. Everybody was speculating because the rumor was, hey, we're going to be getting the new guidelines on Friday morning or Friday afternoon at Governor Newsom does a update at noon, California time. And it was like, okay, here comes the guidelines. We wonder what it's going to be. And then as a result, the state, they kind of tap their brakes, boop, 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 boop. And this is their statement. They issued an official statement. So the state of California then issues their statement. Given the size and operational complexities of these unique sectors, we are seeking additional input from health, workforce, and business stakeholders to finalize this important framework, all leading with science and safety. This was issued by the California Health and Human Services Secretary Mark Gahali, said in a statement that was issued on Friday. So then the state of California says, okay, We are now not going to be issuing any guidelines at this time. We are going to go back and we're going to make sure that we have the right guidelines in. It sounds like they're going to go back and hopefully be working with the theme parks to come up with these guidelines. So that is where we're at. What does that mean for the theme parks? I will tell you this. It probably means we're going to have to wait a little bit longer. This is speculation on my part. This is not, I don't want, keep this in mind. This is speculation on Provo's Park Pass. Because if they're going to have to go back and work with the theme parks and then get those guidelines, so it's going to be a little while before we get those guidelines issued. Then once those guidelines are issued, then we'll be able to have an idea when the theme parks are going to be reopened. I would just like to give you my 2 cents. I was at Knott's Berry Farm at their Halloween, their Taste of Fall-o-ween. I've been to Downtown Disney. I've been to Walt Disney World. I've been to all four parks at Walt Disney World. I've been to Disney Springs, all during this pandemic. The theme parks know what they're doing. They handle everything well. I've never felt not safe. People are social distancing and people are wearing their masks, and there's a lot of hand sanitizing and washing stations everywhere. And that's all we can really ask for. And so that's my 2 cents. I just want to say this though, guys. Subscribe to our channel. That way you can be eligible for this huge giveaway, this 100K by New Year's Day. We're gonna be giving away lots of great Disney prizes and other theme park prizes. So make sure you subscribe for that. Hit that little bell notification. That way you'll get notified every time there's some new breaking news. If you have any insight or input of what we talked about in this today's video, please put it down in the comments down below. Let us know if I missed something. I would love to hear your opinions on everything. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of the week. Be safe out there. Be safe, be kind, be good people. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.